All right, settle down, settle down. I know it has been a hot minute, right? Not just from behind the wheel of my trusty ride, but from behind this microphone. But guess what? I'm back, and I'm fired up to talk about something that has been cooking in my brain. Something I genuinely believe is the cheat code to building real wealth, especially for us young guns. And that, my friends, is the agency model. Now, before you roll your eyes and click away, hear me out. I'm not talking about some dusty corporate, old school agency. I'm talking about a lean, mean wealth generating machine that you can start from your bedroom. No fancy office, no massive overhead, just you, your brain, and a laptop. Look, everyone and their grandma is out there peddling SaaS, e-commerce, dropshipping, and don't even get me started on content creation as a busyness model. It is baffling, truly, when I see beginners thinking they can just set up a tripod, record some stuff, and suddenly be raking in 30,000 bucks a month. Like, yeah, it is possible. Eventually, but the degree of difficulty, oh boy, it is like trying to open a restaurant. You know, your mom and pop shop 9 9% of them fail, and then everyone throws their hands up and says entrepreneurship is a scam. No, entrepreneurship isn't a scam. Your model was the scam the boat you choose to sail in. That is what determines if you're drowning or thriving. And, yes, I'm biased. I built most of my wealth in an agency. I have a whole mentorship around it. But even if you stripped away all my personal experiences, all my biases, I would still, with every fiber of my being, believe the agency model is the absolute best way. The most frictionless way to build wealth, especially when you're just starting out, especially if you're in your 20s or 30s. So let's break it down, point by glorious point. First, it is ridiculously simple to get started. Reason number one, you're essentially selling your time, your knowledge, your expertise. You don't need a massive warehouse. You don't need physical products. No employees to start. You can literally be a solo, one-man or one-woman show. It is dead simple. Honestly, just selling your brain power, your skills. You're offering a done-for-you service, batteries included, businesses need help with lead generation, SEO, coding, web design, whatever your skill set is, you can package it up and sell it. You become their outsourced expert, their secret weapon. And eventually, yes, you can productize, you can scale, you can hire a team. But right now, today, you don't need to worry about any of that big, scary stuff. Compare that to e-commerce, right? You need ad spend, you need fulfillment centers, you need shipping logistics. There are so many moving parts, so many balls in the air. And as a beginner, you want the absolute least amount of balls in the air. Trust me, the beauty of the agency model is you can take a skill you already have, something you do in your 9 to 5, something you've already mastered, and start selling it immediately. It is not complicated, it is low friction, it costs virtually nothing to start. That is point number one, no cash outlay to get your foot in the door. Point number two, it is unbelievably scalable, and I mean scalable in any direction you want to go. You can scale as a freelancer, pulling in 10 to 20,000 bucks a month. Just you. That is awesome. Right? Total freedom. Or you can go full throttle, build a team, hire employees, create a full-fledged agency. Also awesome. I'm a huge fan of that. You can even scale with partners, service partners, affiliate models. The options are limitless. You have full control. Unlike e-commerce, where it is often black and white, did you hit that 100 grand a month mark so you can make your 20% margin? Or not? It is very capped in terms of what you can actually achieve. I know plenty of folks who've crushed it in e-commerce dropshipping. But I am a much firmer believer in the agency model as a starting point. It gives you so much more flexibility. And here is the kicker. You don't even have to scale if you don't want to. If you just want to keep it simple, keep it lean, you can. I know guys who work 20-25 hours a week. They have a couple of big ticket clients, a few smaller ones, and they're netting 12-15,000 a month after tax, and they're living their best lives. They're like, dude, I'm gonna do this for a couple of years, then peace out. Then you have the other extreme. The I want to hit 6 figures a month yesterday crowd. They don't care about stress. They don't care about hiring. They just want that number. The agency model accommodates both. It is that versatile. You don't have to be rigid. You don't have to be stuck to a specific revenue target, like you do with so many other business models. And that is what we're all about here, right? If you've been watching this channel long enough, you know my mantra, it is about making your first couple of grand online so you have choices, so you can decide what you want to do with your life. This next point, it is kind of a tangent, but it is crucial. The agency model can get you to your first 100,000 liquid cash, and once you have that, my friend, you can do whatever the hell you want. That is the green light I give to everyone under my wing. Get to 100,000. If you hate the agency game, pivot, go into high-ticket sales. Those are your two fastest, quickest routes to getting $100,000 liquid saved and invested. As fast as humanly possible, I know guys who did high-ticket sales for 2-3 years. Stacked 100 grand after tax, then went off and started their dream projects. Zone Guy started a community give back forum, makes a little money, but he is doing what he loves. There is no right or wrong answer. That is the beauty of it. You have the leverage. You control your business. Your business doesn't control you. Unlike other models where you're often owned by the business, you're a slave to it. Point number 3. And this might have been number 1. Honestly, it is remote. Duh. You can fulfill these services from anywhere on this beautiful planet. No need to be boots on the ground, no physical location tying you down. You're selling an online service. That is the magic. And it is getting even better, especially with the rise of artificial intelligence. If you choose something like copywriting, funnel building, web design, there are so many services that AI can now handle for you. We're talking 70% of the fulfillment can be done by AI. If you learn how to prompt these tools properly, they can handle a huge chunk of your client work. That is leverage. That is efficiency. That is why I love this model even more. Now, and finally, point number 4. This is probably the mic drop moment. It is the perfect white belt. Beginner business model. I've said it before, but it bears repeating. It teaches you everything you need to know about running a business, from writing contracts to processing money to sales and communication to negotiating with clients who try to stiff you. These might seem like negative experiences in the moment, but they are invaluable lessons. They forge you into a better business person. I would argue that starting an agency, regardless of your offer, your niche, will teach you more about business than any business degree ever could. And yeah, I'm probably going to get flamed in the comments for that one. But I don't care. I firmly believe it. You just don't understand how much you learn about service delivery, about fulfillment, about refunds, about dealing with difficult clients. The sheer amount of knowledge you gain is insane. When I first started, I was so nervous, so confused. How do I process money? Do I take the credit card first? Do they process it? When they agree, do I send the contract immediately or wait a few days? All that admin stuff and then the actual work. What expectations do I set? What are clients actually looking for? If you try to learn all this in another business model, you'll be stuck behind the 8 ball. But with an agency, you can stack these lessons at your own pace. You're not constantly feeling like you're falling behind. So, I don't know, especially now with all the tools available. I'm still biased towards lead generation and appointment setting for specific niches. That is where I made most of my money. So, how do you take what I've said and actually start something? You need to learn cold email, cold outreach, cold calling. If you've got the cojones for it, it is still one of the best ways. Pick a general offer, go to Claude, or ChatGPT prompt it. Hey, I'm looking to start a marketing agency. Need help with my offer. Should I do lead gen? Appointment setting? What is good right now, seriously? Ask the AI. It will give you some great starting points. You don't want to cut yourself short by picking the wrong thing. I do lead gen and appointment setting for realtors, for example, so you can use me as an example. Tell the AI, I have a buddy who does lead gen and appointment setting for realtors. I want to do it for X niche. Give me the A to Z playbook on starting from scratch, cold email scripts, service delivery guide, how to choose if the niche is even the right one. Because, honestly, you don't even really need a niche to start. The AI can literally map out the entire playbook for you if you really want it. Of course, if you want more hand-holding, if you want a firm grip on scaling to $3,000 to $5,000 a month, you can apply below for my mentorship if you're interested. If you've tried starting an agency before, or if you're just familiar with the model, you're a perfect fit. I'll leave the link below. We can potentially get on a call if your application checks out. But truly, you can do this. I promise you. Don't stress about the niche. Don't stress about selling. Don't stress about scrambling when a client says yes. There is a pace to this. We can figure it out. Boys and girls, that is the main one I wanted to get out today. I'm going to make a couple more videos today, but this was the priority. As always, if you made it this far, 1, I hope you enjoyed this one. And 2, I'm back. Back for good, for the foreseeable future at least. Traveling is done for a while. You guys have a good week. Keep crushing it. Stay boring. Stay patient. Peace.